Okay, if there's something that's fun and easy to do, it's homemade mayonnaise, home whisk mayonnaise. Okay, it might not be that easy, but it is fun. And well, let me show you exactly how easy it is. And ingredients for mayonnaise is typically stuff that grows around a Mediterranean farm. We start off by cracking the egg and separating the white and the yolk. And this is not my most elegant attempt at that, but it works. Then I add a little bit of oil, just a tiny bit, about as much as the egg yolk. Then I whisk from the egg yolk and against the oil. And this is a general principle I use. I whisk from what's already there onto the new stuff that's added. It starts to become a little bit creamy, and then I add the mustard, senap is Danish. And then now we can easily see how the emulsion is starting. It is mostly the egg yolk that does the work here, but the mustard actually works a bit too with the emulsion, making it thicker. Then I add about a little bit of oil, and again I whisk from the side with the stuff that's already whisked and against the new stuff. And if you have some sort of container where you can pour a small stream, that'll work just as well. Now that it's starting to become a little emulsified, I add the lemon juice. This was about a tablespoon. And again, I whisk from the done side to the new side. And the lemon juice is there to make it, well, if it's only oil, it becomes too boring. So there has to be some acid in there to give it some balance. And again, I add about half the amount of oil to what I already got of the mixed mayonnaise. And I do that generally. Not too much new oil. And now it's done. And here I have continued to add oil until it became ridiculous. It's separated and it's too thick. Then you add a little bit more liquid. You can add lemon juice, or you can add some water, or you can add a little bit of egg white actually to make it softer, because it's the oil that makes, ironically, the liquid oil is what makes the mayonnaise thicken. The more oil, the thicker it is. So we have to add liquid for it to become softer, and we see it doesn't curdle anymore. It's actually a cream again. And if you think it's becoming too acidic or tastes too much of lemon juice, just add a little bit of water or egg white. Now I want to show a bad attempt at making a mayonnaise. See, I add all the ingredients at once. You can do this if you do a blender mayonnaise, but this is manually, so it's a bit more finicky. Then I add the oil, and I add a little bit too much oil at a time. And I mix it all, not from one side, but all over. Then I add oil too quickly. You see, it's starting to become a little bit grainy. That's a warning sign. You can still save it at this point. But if you keep adding oil, it will completely separate. You see, this would need a long mixing to stop being grainy. And here I add about the same amount of oil that was already there's finished mix. And see, now it go completely out of hand. It becomes thinner when I add more oil, and that's a clear warning sign. And now it's just a fatty liquid. Yeah, this will happen to you when you make a homemade or handmade mayonnaise. It's unavoidable. But luckily it can be saved. what you have to do is start over, a clean bowl, some egg and a bit of oil, just like you would when you start up a new mayonnaise. Instead of using oil, you use the old separated mayonnaise. Well, it's not old, it's hopefully, but it's separated. Now it's become creamy and we're ready to add a little bit of the separated mayonnaise. Just a little bit. And it starts to gel immediately almost. A little bit more. And again, I only add about half of what I already have, and I whisk from one side to the other to make sure that I always work with a mayonnaise that is not separated. If I start from the separated side, I risk spreading the separation to the good side. That would kind of suck. And trust me, I have tried this. And now the magic starts to happen. We obviously have a working mayonnaise now from the separated one. And often you will need to add a bit of liquid at this time in the process too. But I have so much done now that I can add the rest. So this cost me an extra egg, but I saved the mayonnaise. Yeah. It'll give you a good workout, so try it. It's fun. And you can find the list of ingredients and the recipe on kvalifood.